Hey y'all, good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to share with y'all today my story of how I started playing football. And I will tell you, this is not an ordinary story. Like, this isn't the norm, played football all my life since I was 5 years old and I've been loving the game ever since. Nah, bro. This right here has really been like a up and down kind of journey, but like it starts off really, really weird. I'll just be talking as I do my workout for the day. I did a lot of stuff and I just captured it on video, but I'm gonna be talking to y'all about how I started playing football. So I'll take you as far back as middle school because that's kind of when it started. But not really. I didn't play football. So in eighth grade, I'm about to graduate, and there was a middle school coach who also helped coach at the high school. His name was Coach Warren. I didn't play sports ever in my life up until this point. I didn't go to the gym ever in my life up until this point. I was just always really, really athletic and always competitive during recess and sports like that. So eighth grade comes and Coach Warren is like, "Hey, would you be interested in ever playing football in high school?" I'm like, yeah, I guess. I mean, sure. My brothers played sports in high school. They both played rugby and football and ran track. They were pretty athletic. My oldest brother, he was really fast. He ran like a 4.43. My brother after him was the captain of the football team, and the oldest brother played rugby. He ended up actually being on the Olympic USA team, which was really cool. But back to me. Coach Warren also knew my brothers, which was kind of crazy because he was at Eleanor Roosevelt at that time, Eleanor Roosevelt High School in Maryland. Shout out Rose. And I was at Greenbelt Middle School in Maryland. But yeah, at Greenbelt is where I met Coach Warren, and he was like, "Would you like to work out with us?" And I said, "Sure." So I took the chance. At that time, I was actually currently moving to Fort Washington. Like I didn't live near Greenbelt anymore. Like I was when I graduated, I was gonna go to Friendly High School in Fort Washington. And I was kind of sad because all of my friends that I ever known was all in Greenbelt, Maryland. Everybody grew up in Greenbelt and was about to go to Roosevelt. Like that would have been the latest situation. But God had another plan for me. Fast forward, I go to a couple workouts. Like we lift and we do a whole bunch of different lifting activities and like different workouts. And they take us outside to do drills. And I've never done these before in my life. Like I'm in middle school. My brother gave me his worn out cleats that was size 12, and my feet wasn't that big yet, but I was rocking them cleats. And the workouts was cool. Like I was learning. Like I had no idea. I didn't watch football growing up. I didn't have a favorite NFL team. Like the whole idea of football was new to me. Like learning the sport was very, very new to me. So I didn't learn that much. Like I'm still like completely like, what am I doing? But I'm like trying to beat everybody in all the drills that they're teaching me. So come high school, we finally move and middle school's over. So I don't see Coach Warren anymore and I'm not near Eleanor Roosevelt anymore. So I go to Friendly High School during the summertime before school starts. And my mom takes me to the football coach like, "Hey, my son wants to start playing football." And my coach was like, "Oh yeah, he can come on, come on." Like, I feel like they were looking for athletes at that point. Like they didn't have that many athletes. So they were recruiting, and I looked pretty good. So I started working out with them over the summer. I ended up making some friends who at the time were not the best people to be friends with, but they were good at football, so I was learning from them. I remember this like yesterday. There was three of them, but they were all better than me, and they all played football since they were kids. And I was just there. Like they would make fun of me, like they'd be like, "Bro, you're not fast as us." I was always strong though, because one thing I did was lift really well, and I'm Nigerian, so I'm just genetically gifted. So I was always strong, but I wasn't always as fast as them. One, because I never really sprinted, and I didn't know how to run. It's crazy because after my freshman year, I went to go run track, and I came back my sophomore year just as fast and even faster than them. But back to the main story. My freshman year, bro, I remember that like, hey, my freshman year, we had this coach named Coach Jack. And he was an arena football player, and he used to dress up in pads and equipment with us. And I would just be like, "Yo, is this how all coaches are? Like, this is so lit. Our coach is actually wearing equipment. Like, what is going on?" And he would show us how to hit by hitting us. He would show us how to block by blocking us. He would show us different things on offense. And he taught me this one technique called the rhino technique, which is kind of funny because it requires you to like take on a block and smash your head, like head bust the person, but not like the crown of your head, but your face mask. And you go bam, 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 hit your face mask against them and block them. But I remember after one game, he had shouted me out for blocking so well, and that's the only thing I did well that game. He was like, "Man, we want to shout out Daniel Raymond for blocking really well, doing what we told him. If he didn't do anything else this game, he blocked and he made sure, those blocks were made." And I still have that shirt to this day. Man, it got to a point where I would ask my head coach, like, "Hey, coach, why do we kick the ball after every time we score?" Like, I didn't even know why we kicked off. Like, I didn't understand football. I was still trying to understand during that whole process. And after I ran track again my sophomore year, because I did it freshman year and going into my sophomore year, and then sophomore year going into my junior year. After I did it going into my junior year, at this point, I had a better understanding of football just from being around it 2 years. I learned from the athletes around me. I took coaching so well. Like me and my coach are so close to this day because he never really ever met an athlete like me that learned so quickly. He taught me the game so well, and I learned from the athletes that were the best on my team and took everything from them. One thing I am is like I'm a sponge. Like, put me in an area full of thriving people and I'll thrive just as much. But one downfall, one part I don't like about that is it's hard for me to have that already. Like, I just don't know what I don't know, But one thing that I'm good at is working out on my own and practicing on my own and learning things. That's one thing that I learned about myself in the process. But I ended up learning so much from the people around me, as well as running track, which made me a lot more athletic. But learning what to do with my athleticism and my speed and my strength from the people who did it well was something that I did well. And it took me so far to the point where my junior year, I got my first college offer after that season. Oh, I got an offer to Delaware State. I was so infatuated by the amount of scouts that came to my school. Like, Duke was the biggest one that came to my school. We had University of Maryland come to my school and talk to me, North Carolina A&T. Those are the three that I can remember off the top of my head. But Towson, Delaware State also came, and Virginia Military Institute also came to my school. Those were the three schools that offered me. Towson, Virginia Military Institute, and Morgan State. Those are the schools. Oh wait, Towson, Virginia Military Institute, Morgan State, and Delaware State were the schools that gave me offers. I weighed my options, and Towson was the best one. So I was verbally committed to them my junior year. I bought out my junior year. That's what made them give me the offer. My junior year, I was a double threat, everywhere threat. I kicked field goals. I returned kicks. I was the receiver. I was also our starting nickelback. I was blitzing. I was on the line. I was in linebacker coverage, and I was at middle safety playing spy. My school used me so well. They used me everywhere just because I was an asset. I learned from so many people and was able to implement it in my game. And that's one of my biggest strengths, just being so coachable. So if you are a high school player, if you are a middle school player trying to play at the next level, one of your biggest abilities is being coachable, learning and implementing it as fast as possible. You know what I'm saying? And having people see your value through that. My coaches saw that I was capable to the point where my senior year, we didn't have a quarterback. We didn't have a quarterback at all. And they were like, you know what, let's just put our best athlete there. They put me at quarterback. And you know what? I got second team all-county quarterback, my first time ever playing quarterback in my life. Why? Because I was coachable. My junior year, I was also a returner. I got first team all-county returner my junior year. And first team all-county safety my junior year as well. It was just different. Just seeing all of that happen in 4 years was just so amazing to me. And I really thank God for who He's made me. So by that time, I chose Towson because they're academics. I told my high school coach, I don't care where I go. I want to go anywhere I can for free. I don't want my mom paying for nothing. I want to go to college for free. And Towson was the best option. even though I was more so of an offensive player, but Towson liked my defensive film. Delaware State liked my offensive film. Morgan liked my offensive film, but Towson liked my defensive film. And I was going there thinking I was going to be Travis Hunter before Travis Hunter was Travis Hunter. Like, like I'm thinking I'm gonna play both ways in college. Like my college coaches gonna mess with me. They like my offense. They did not give my offense a chance, y'all, and it breaks my heart because I really love offense. Like whenever I would go do drills on my own in my backyard, I'm doing route drills. I'm doing separation. Let's make space. Like let's run real good routes. Let's get open and catch the ball. Like I'm doing things like that. Like I love that, but that wasn't in my future, unfortunately. Maybe I didn't work hard enough, but shoot, I worked hard nonetheless, and they loved how I played on defense. And in my 4 years, 4.5 years at Towson, I learned so much more. Even just how to be a defensive player, how to have the swag, how to like, just have the IQ, how to know what's going on around you, know what your teammates' responsibilities are so you play faster, you know. Like I've had two coaching staffs at Towson University, and both of them taught me different things. But man, I learned so much here that's just gonna shoot me into the next level. And I know that like nickels, like outside linebackers, like nickelbacks, are becoming more relevant in the NFL. Like the NFL's defense is changing. That's why I feel like wow, I really have a shot at this. So my junior year and my freshman year in college, I didn't get to redshirt. Fortunately slash unfortunately, I wish I did because I wish that I could like have one more year just to show how much I've developed, but it's not in my future either. So looking past that, I was able to play 7 games. The first 4 games, my coach was not rocking with me. Like he was not rocking with me at all. But I ended up saying like, yeah, I'm trying to redshirt. And he was like, nah, we just want to see more out of you at practice. So I was like, okay, I can show y'all more. I was more physical at practice and just like triggering more, like being more violent at my point of attack anywhere. And they liked that. So they played me my 5th game of the season. First play of the game was a TFL, y'all. My first play of the game was a TFL. My first ever play, or my first ever tackle was a TFL. I don't know if it was the first play. It might have been versus Stony Brook. And from there, they started playing me like 7 to 16 reps a game for the next consecutive games, for like the next seven or so games. I was fortunate enough to get those reps my freshman year to just play. Special teams, I ended up getting a lot of reps too. But I didn't sit out. I didn't redshirt. I wasn't a bench warmer. Like my coach really put me. Well, kind of was a bench warmer because he put me in like certain moments. But so my sophomore year, I ended up just being like more relevant on the team. I was fighting for first string the whole season. Like coach will start me one game, not put me in second string the next game, start me one game second. But I was always getting reps. Like I wasn't having that much production my sophomore year. I just didn't have that many tackles. Like I think I ended off the season with like 40 something tackles. Even like pass coverage. Like I still was really raw. Like you could tell like I was, even though I was athletically gifted, fast and strong, there were still some things missing that I had to learn, which was like IQ, like game knowledge, game speed, game IQ. That was something that I needed to learn for sure. And that's one thing I wish that I got. Like I wish I started playing football sooner just to understand things a lot more, like why people run routes the way they do, spacing, and just how to be a better defensive player. I wish I learned those things sooner, but I learned them while in college. Like high school was more so like backyard football for me. Like run as hard as you can and don't let nobody tackle you and tackle the piss out of people and don't get blocked. Like that was it in high school and it worked really, really well. But coming to college, that's not enough. That's not enough because people are blocking you and they're not letting go. People are gonna get hit by you and they're not gonna fall. Like you gotta wrap up really well and you gotta shed and rip off blocks. Like, but so my junior year, we got a new coaching staff. They taught us a lot more game applicable things and they broke things down so well that my production increased by a third. So I went from like 40 something tackles to like 67 tackles my sophomore year. My junior year, 67 tackles my junior year. And Man, I was flying around. Like the way that they broke things down and made me understand the defense and understand football was amazing. Like I really thank them for that. And my senior year, it was around the same amount of tackles, but I ended it off with a pick six. And bro, when I tell you my junior year, my last second to last game of the season, I ended with 12 tackles, three to four TFLs, and I felt like the man that game. Like I had so many tackles that game, and it was starting to make sense. So going into my senior year, I'm like, oh yeah, like oh, and by the way, I started my senior year and I started my junior year. I mean, yeah, both years I started at outside linebacker at the nickel. Um, my senior year, we played Villanova, like fourth game of the season, and then fifth game of the season, right before practice starts, the Eagle Scouts come. And we don't usually talk to the scouts. Like, we don't usually talk to any of the scouts. But before practice, I came out early, and my coach is like, Raymond, come here. I'm like, what's up, coach? You see that scout over there? I'm like, yeah. He said, go talk to him. He wants to talk to you. I'm like, what? Since when do we talk to scouts? You know? And so I ran over there. I'm like, who is that scout? It's the Eagles, NFL Eagles, bro. Like the Eagle Scout. So in my head, I'm stoked. I'm like, bro, what? No way. And like NFL championship team is interested in me, bro. So from right there, that helped me know like I actually have a shot at the NFL. That was the point where I knew, because I wasn't really gonna pursue it. I wasn't gonna pursue the NFL. I was just gonna play my 4 years in college and just be a regular person after that. But the Eagles talked to me and were like, "Yeah, bro, we just came from Villanova and they were talking about you. We love what you're doing. We can't wait to see more of you. Da 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 da. This and that, and we'll stay in contact. Da da da." So right there is where like, oh yeah, I'm gonna keep trying to turn this up. Like every chance I get, every game, last few games I got, I'm gonna turn this up because I got a shot at this. So man, I at that point was where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pursue the NFL. After this, I'll take my chances and see what I can do with my God-given ability. Man, I've just been staying prayed up like while I've been training and doing everything, because my whole story is a result of God's favor on my life. Like my whole plan of me playing football is a complete result of God's favor on my life. And I know that I didn't get here without it. And I know that I'm going to need it to get to my next destination. So, bro, I've been staying prayed up. I've been training. Even my journey with training has been a lot, bro. Like I've gave y'all like the quick Daniel's Life for Dummies version of just everything, but man, it's been a blessing just being able to be where I am and do the things that I'm doing. But God is good, bro, and I'm looking forward to seeing what this whole thing looks like. My pro day is on March 28th. It's currently March 11th, so I have 17 days until the big day where all of the NFL scouts is going to be at my school to watch. And I'm telling you, all of them, even some CFL teams are going to be there. But this is going to be great. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what it's going to look like on that day for me and what God's going to do for me on that day. I'm just going to come and perform all the practice I've been practicing. Just do my thing and have fun and be me unapologetically me. So thanks for listening to my story, man. Y'all stay blessed by the best. In Him we live, move, and we already won. Catch y'all next time.